Millions of players joining one multiplayer game server sounds like a networking nightmare. So what's the catch? The catch is that I didn't just build a typical Steam game that you download and join a multiplayer lobby on. In fact, you don't have to install anything to play. The reason my game can handle millions of players is because it is piggybacking off a tech stack that can already handle this. All we have to do is turn a live stream into a game. Ever since I saw the massive success of Twitch Plays Pokemon, I needed to know, what are the limits of interactive live streams? Can I build one into a multiplayer game capable of growing exponentially? After many failed attempts, I may have finally cracked the code. And this experiment has led me to a bizarre game design where players are using social engineering to manipulate other players out of their in-game currency. But I'm getting ahead of myself. In this video, I'll explain my design, show the results of my alpha test streams, and I'll show you how to download the game and stream it on your own channel. Starting with a blank slate, I had only one design requirement. Rather than each player sharing a small fraction of control over a single character in the game, I want each player to have individual control over their own character. In 2019, I built my first prototype on YouTube. It was a simple mini-golf theme where you just type two numbers into the live chat to try and hit your ball into the hole. A few years later, I learned how to use Unity and rebuilt the game for Twitch. It was a slight improvement, but the gameplay was still more frustrating than fun due to stream delay. I gave one last try at making the mini-golf theme work, but overcomplicating things with user-generated courses didn't fix the root problem. Was it interesting? Yes, but was it fun? No. Finally, I tried something new and made a battle royale style marble race game. You spawn in as your profile picture now and can communicate with speech bubbles. I also experimented with monetization for the first time using TikTok GIFs to activate traps. This made me realize that monetizing this game without making it pay to win was going to be challenging. Regardless, the game flopped again. New players joining the stream had to wait until the next spawn lobby to join, which was just way too boring and confusing. To avoid making players wait to spawn in, I tried a new King of the Hill format. The goal of this game was much more intuitive, and players enjoyed the attention from capturing the throne and using text-to-speech.
Bow down to me, peasants.
The novelty was interesting, but the gameplay was extremely shallow. Now, a sane person probably would have stopped by now after failing 5 times, but I was in so deep at this point I just refused to quit. Moving back to YouTube for the wider form factor, I revised this King of the Hill format into something more interesting. You earn points by typing a number and choosing between the path of low risk, low reward versus high risk, high reward. Then you can spend those points breaking through the defense blocks to capture the throne. Things were finally starting to work. The gameplay was interesting, there was a clear goal, the stream delay didn't make things frustrating. The next step was just to add more variety so the game stayed interesting for longer gameplay sessions. Rather than fix my spaghetti code, I rewrote the entire game again in a new render pipeline. Most importantly, I made the gameplay tiles modular. After a set timer, they now spin to a random new minigame board. The game is now infinitely expandable, so I can ensure it never gets boring. I gave monetization another try, but this time people loved it. The main attraction is called a rebellion. It creates a zone around the donor which multiplies the value of points you can earn based on the donation amount. Instead of this being a selfish bonus, it helps everybody because the multiplier applies to all players that enter the zone, not just the donor. This turned out to be a win-win because now the rebellion leaders are cheered on and loved by the community, and I was getting support to continue developing the game. At this point, I thought I may actually pull this off. My jaw would drop when I saw some of the donations extremely generous players were making, and I started to wonder, did I finally just find the passive interactive livestream holy grail? Unfortunately, no. Naive Doodle from 6 months ago was unaware of a massive flaw in his design. As the game grew more popular, since we are restricted to a finite amount of screen real estate for an infinite number of theoretical players, at about 80 to 100, I started getting complaints that people were having a hard time locating themselves after they spawned since the screen was just getting too crowded. Without some means to control the rate players can spawn into the game, this project would never be able to scale into the thousands of live players like I dreamed. To share this game with bigger streamers, it needs to be able to handle their larger audiences. If I couldn't come up with a solution to make the gameplay work at this scale, the project was effectively dead. But then I had a brain blast. Twitch has a nifty feature called channel points. These channel points are distributed for free to all viewers over time as they watch the stream. Most importantly, the redemptions are accessible via the Twitch API. I had an idea where I could use these channel points to solve my scalability problem. The only downside is I don't have much of a following on Twitch compared to YouTube. But it was either do or die, so I packed up the stream and began migrating platforms for the 4th time. So first I renamed the channel points into tickets and created a live bidding auction system. Now, in order to join these mini games, aka tiles, you must bid these tickets. Your position in the bidding queue is determined by how many tickets you bid relative to the other players. If you're among the top bidders, you go to one of these green slots, which guarantees your entry into the minigame. If you bid a smaller amount, you'll likely be pushed into the raffle, where, just like how a normal raffle works, your odds of being randomly selected for entry are proportional to the number of tickets you have in the raffle. If you want to earn tickets faster, I even built an automatic prediction system so you can bet your tickets to earn more. Some of these predictions are based on outcomes that the players can control, so it is possible for a clever player to game the system a bit. The spawning system is far from the only thing that's new. There are now 4 different tile rarities: common, rare, epic, and legendary. This has 2 benefits. 1, it creates more competitive bidding wars the higher the tile rarity is, since they pay out more points. And 2, it increases player retention since they don't want to miss out on rare tiles. Each tile rarity has a base prize reward, but the prize increases by the total number of tickets bid on a tile as well, further increasing the insanity of bidding wars. The tile prize is distributed based on your ranking on the tile's podium. This ranking is typically the order in which players are eliminated. Every tile presents a different choice of risk versus reward. You can get lucky with a huge payday, especially if you live long enough to reach a high multiplier, or you can get unlucky and hit a red bucket, which subtracts your points and gives them to the king. But now, Gen 3 has the highest skill ceiling of any interactive livestream I've made. In this tile, for instance, the path each marble takes through the splitters is 100% deterministic, so you can try to position yourself in the bidding queue to the optimal spot. And in this tile, I allow people to choose when they want to exit safely as the risk level increases. Some games require interaction with other players by pinging their usernames in chat. For example, in Danger Zone, you need help from other players to survive, so be careful who you make enemies with. My favorite minigame design is for Quip Battle. It's similar to the Jackbox game Quiplash, where you try to give the funniest answer to the prompt, and then you are rewarded points for each vote you get in a Twitch poll. Now that you know how to earn points, you're ready to spend them on attacking the throne. Holding the throne is even more fun now because it grants you the power to control which players can survive in certain minigames, aka tiles. You can even DJ and change the stream's music. But the gold the king can collect is still the thing players are most obsessive about. It accumulates in this chest based on the rarity of each new tile that appears, and it is paid out to the throne holder every time this timer expires. When I added the ability to transfer value between players using the give gold command, some behavior emerged that I could not have predicted, such as a dirty gold economy. I've seen players bribe the king with gold to let them win rounds. Sometimes players will ask for a loan and promise to pay it back so they can get the cosmetic they want without missing out. It's very fun to watch. To try and capture the throne and earn gold, you can attack at any time by simply typing !attack. The biggest threat you need to watch out for when attacking now is lava. If you are destroyed by lava, half of your points will be lost to the king. If you fear the king will dump lava when you attack, you can preemptively drench your marble in water as protection. Water and lava buckets do cost a lot of tickets though, so then the question becomes, at what gold chest value does spending what amount of points/tickets become worth it? Another mechanic to watch out for is the tomato command. It allows any player to spend points on throwing a tomato, which subtracts an equal number of points on the player you target. There's even a channel on my Discord that's already dedicated to the lore of this game and historic rivalries for the throne. Look at the spreadsheet this player made documenting their relationship status to all these other players. It's nuts, but I love it so much. If you want to test your luck, come join us on Twitch and follow the channel. I'd love to hear any feedback you have as well. Here's how the stream has been doing. I started out with almost no following on Twitch, and now the channel is at almost 1,000 followers thanks to Chaos League Live. It's crazy that this is possible without me ever talking into the mic or entertaining the chat myself. It is all just running automatically. This data leads me to believe that the game would be useful to other Twitch streamers. If I was able to see growth with a very small audience, I think bigger streamers could benefit even more from this game. It's in an interesting niche. I think it's a great tool if you're streaming and you want to take a break or need to go to the bathroom. Rather than leaving the stream on dead air, where you would likely lose viewers, you could just fire up this game and let the viewers entertain themselves, and possibly even make money passively while doing it. To run the game yourself, just follow the instructions in the video description below. After starting the game, it will pop up a browser asking you for permission to connect with your Twitch account. Just click authorize, and then you're done. Thanks for coming down this bizarre rabbit hole of interactive live streams with me. I still think they're a super cool format with a lot of untapped potential. And if there's interest, I'd love to keep developing it. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the throne soon.